We're more worried about how we play.
The Bucks host the Bulls tomorrow night. College football, the Badgers host number 3 ranked Penn State Saturday night. Luke Fickell on facing that tough Nittany Lions defensive front.
They're going to move all around. They've got really, really good athletes. I think obviously that's where the strength of their team is.
NFL, Matt LaFleur inviting his close friend and former Jets head coach Robert Saleh to practice. Will Saleh be joining the coaching staff?
It's pretty fluid. I think it's important for him to spend time, obviously, with his family. So he.
Meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, a few showers and storms around. Lows in the low 40s. Sunshine returns for Friday and Saturday, highs upper 50s. Sunshine and highs in the low 60s Sunday. Even warmer to start the work week next week, highs jump into the 70s. It's 60 right now.
All Wisconsinites want our lawmakers to fight for a better future. But some elected officials are working to strip away our rights, like the right to make our own healthcare decisions or send our kids to well-funded schools. Wisconsin voters will be asked to change the state constitution on their November ballot. This anti-voter constitutional amendment could disenfranchise or create barriers for eligible voters. We're not going back. The League of Women Voters of Wisconsin is urging voters to vote no on the November 5th constitutional amendment.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody. Join us next time as our old friend, positivity psychologist and life coach Kira Sabin joins us for a whole hour. Join us.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now a guy who doesn't believe in sex after marriage, Pete Schwaba.
It's true. I don't. It's immoral. How we doing, Wisconsin? Welcome to Night Light on this gorgeous Thursday night in the state of Wisconsin, in the state of bliss, as we broadcast statewide all over our beautiful state, Conrad.
Yeah?
Where are you in Wisconsin? It doesn't matter. You can pick up Nightlight, and I love that. And you can also check us out on the app. We are broadcasting from downtown Green Bay at beautiful City Deck Landing. Got a fun show. Great to have you with us tonight. We're going to be talking about tonight. There's kind of a theme. And Conrad, I'll let you share that theme.
Well,
you're combing the show sheet right now.
No, it's pumpkins.
Pumpkins, baby. Outrageous pumpkins.
Yes.
So we'll do that. And when was the last time you carved a pumpkin?
What? I don't know. Probably my mom was there helping me. I don't know the last time.
Just admit it. A week ago Tuesday.
All right. I have like 5 just in my bedroom.
They're not, it's kind of fun. It's not something I don't know. It doesn't do it for me now, but it was fun when I had kids. I'm sure your folks enjoyed doing it with you when you were younger and carving those knives are deceptive. Have you seen those? The pumpkin carving knives, they look like a jagged blade.
Yeah, they do.
But they're like nothing. They're like plastic. You have to really, if you wanted to shiv someone with a pumpkin knife, you'd really have to go to town. So, we got a lot of pumpkin talk tonight, folks. And it's not scary talk. We've been doing a lot of scary movie talk on the show. But tonight, we've got our popcorn pick of the week first, before we get to the pumpkins. And that's fun because Nikki Zerjev is here. She's going to help us. She's the newest member of our team here in Green Bay at WGBW, where we broadcast from. And Nikki is going to help us make our popcorn pick of the week. We'll find out. It's a very intimate moment when someone makes a pick and more or less tells you, these are the movies I watch. This is the kind of movie I dig. and we'll find out a lot of intimate details about Nikki, because she'll make our popcorn pick of the week at 6:35. And then Carly Ide, a local celebrity who's on Outrageous Pumpkins on the Food Network. She's going to be here at 7:05. And she is not only has she been on that show, Outrageous Pumpkins, she was invited back for an all-star season, which they're in the middle of right now. So she's an all-star pumpkin carver. She's an artist and does all kinds of really cool stuff. And she makes her home in Appleton. So she'll be here to discuss her role on Outrageous Pumpkins. So that'll be fun. And then at 7:35, Jessica Murphy joining us all the way from Fish Creek and talking about jack-o'-lantern days. You know what I'm going to ask Jessica if she's listening? I don't know if she is, but I want to know where the term jack-o'-lantern came from.
Didn't it came from a while ago. It had to have, like, I'm talking like medieval times, I feel like.
Jack-o'-lantern?
I don't know why. I feel like they use those for a lot, like, because you know there's that one, the Headless Horseman.
Oh, yeah. Creepy.
That character.
Yeah.
Isn't that from a while ago?
Does that have something to do with jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah, he has a pumpkin on his head.
Well, he might have just been being a goof, trying to get a laugh. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
I'll have to go to the Google.
Probably named after some Irish guy. Mr. O'Lantern.
He was the first one to carve it. Everyone thought he was a nut.
Yes. What are you doing with that piece of fruit? Violating it. Stop it. And then next thing you know, he's a celebrity. But we'll talk about jack-o'-lanterns. They're doing a really cool thing, jack-o'-lantern days in Fish Creek this weekend. So that'll be fun, too. So another fun show, and we'll talk about all the things we love to talk about around the water cooler. You know, it's weird that we have a show where we talk about things that people generally discuss around a water cooler. But guess what? We don't have a water cooler. We have to put out little bottles of water and then talk about TV and movies and sports and all that kind of stuff. So that doesn't seem fair. Do you think they would get us a water cooler? Then you really know you work in an office, right?
Yeah, I guess so. My grandma actually has one.
She has a water cooler at
home?
The
house, yeah.
Oh, wow. What do you talk about around the water cooler at Grandma's house?
Nothing. We just grab the water.
We just ask Grandma when dinner's going to be ready. Hey, Grandma, when's the dumpling soup going to be ready? So yesterday, we didn't miss this. We saw it, but we already had the show planned. And we saw that yesterday was National TV Talk Show Host Day. So a lot of people, I don't know if you noticed this, color television has really caught on with Americans. And, daytime talk, nighttime talk, lots of TV talk show hosts over the years. You know, you got The View, you got Oprah, you got Donahue, you got Letterman, Carson, Arsenio, all different kinds of talk show hosts on TV. Our question tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we need a drum roll. How are we doing on that montage, by the way?
Oh,
I got to give you notes. I know you sent it to me, but I got to give you notes on it.
So it's on you. What do you
It's on me, yeah.
How are we doing? Oh, wait.
We have a really snazzy way to introduce the question every night, and it's coming soon, and you won't want to miss that. But we're going to keep you in suspenders just a little longer. Yesterday was National TV Talk Show Host Day. Today's question is, who is your least favorite TV talk show host? Because I think a few weeks ago, we did favorite late night host. Let's go negative tonight. Let's ask the question, who is your least favorite TV talk show host? You're not going to like my answer. But I'll go first. And this is not a personal thing. Jay Leno.
Oh.
I know he's huge in your family. And you know what? I love Jay Leno as a stand-up comic. I did not love him as a talk show host. He would be my least favorite nighttime talk show host. Maybe Fallon. I'm not a huge Fallon fan either. But daytime, I got to go any one of the Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Jerry Springer, that whole crowd. They all sucked. Those are just horrible shows. Judge Judy, come on, get out of here. So those are my least favorite. Those are some examples. Who is your least favorite TV talk show? Could be a nighttime show, daytime, morning, whatever.
You know who I don't like?
Who?
Regis Philbin.
Really?
I don't know. I just found his voice annoying.
He's so, I don't know if I told you this before, but I was Jeff Foxworthy's producer for A Cup of Coffee on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Foxworthy loved baseball, so he would do this game where you had to give initials and then guess the player he was thinking of. So that's how we killed time in the green room for the month that I was on the show. But Regis Philbin shot his show down the hall, so he came in, and Foxworthy, I don't know if they were like buddies or it was just like this traditional, we're both on TV, so let's talk. But Philbin, he was like that even off stage. He's just kind of a hyper guy. And watching him talk to Foxworthy was really hilarious. And he was a comedian, and I didn't find him that funny. But I totally get why he was on TV. He was very energetic, very professional. He's one of those guys like Cheryl came on the show here. I remember she was saying, "Oh, Pete, you're great and you're so respected." Like, okay, fine. She was just saying, she was being a professional. She was saying what you do to other people, you know, that have you on their show. You give them compliments. And that's what I felt like Regis Philbin. He's like an old school pro who compliments people, makes them feel good. Doesn't sound like that would have carried much weight with you.
I guess not.
No. Okay. So Conrad's least favorite talk show host, Regis Philbin. Mine, late night, I'll go Jay Leno. Jimmy Fallon, a close second. Daytime, Springer, Raphael. Really, any of those judge courtroom shows were just awful. They just exploited people. And you want to know where our current culture comes from with why we can't get along and we're polarized and we, you know, just, I think that had a lot to do with it. Those 90s talk, and Morton Downey. You know what? I was in church once. I don't usually name drop twice in one show, but my wife and I went to church on Ash Wednesday when we lived in LA, and Morton Downey Jr. sat behind us. And he was like, here's how annoying this guy was. He wasn't just there with everybody else, listening, making the sign of the cross, genuflecting, shaking hands at the sign of peace. He was like ultra praying. He was on his knees and putting his head against his hands like he was praying harder than everyone else. Even in church, this guy was putting on a show. And I don't know, maybe he had a lot of demons. Maybe he had a few drinks. I don't know, but I found it really distracting and annoying. I'm like, this guy needs attention in church? He's trying to out-worship everybody? Was really strange. And his show was terrible. So I would say a lot of those days. I liked Oprah. I liked Phil Donahue. But those afternoon shows, no thanks. So who is your least favorite TV talk show host? We got the ball rolling here. We'd love to hear from you. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Let us know, and we will read your text on the radio. Conrad, let's just say people are at home. And they've gathered the whole family in around the old school radio to listen to the show, and it's not working. Where can they go to watch the radio?
Well, first of all, if it's not working on the regular radio, go to the Civic Media app.
There you go. Love it.
Pick any of the stations, we'll be out there. And then, so if we're streaming, if you want to go on Facebook, Nightlight with Pete Schwaba or WGBW. YouTube, we're under Civic Media, WGBW. And on Twitter, Civic Media, WGBW.
And are we on AOL?
No, but we are.
Okay.
We are on Pinterest.
We definitely need a Pinterest page.
MySpace.
MySpace, yep. I remember a friend of mine saying he was thinking about whether or not he should join Friendster. It was like in the early 2000s or mid 2000s.
I forgot about Friendster.
What? It did not last long. All right, so today we've got a couple national days I find interesting. National Kangaroo Awareness Day just so happens to also fall on World Kangaroo Day. Conspiracy? You tell me. I'll look for it and I'll find it anywhere. National days? Are the calendar people? Are they trying to normalize kangaroos? So next thing you know, we've got kangaroos walking down the street here. Well, they're kangaroos. They're just like us. I don't like it.
I've pet a kangaroo before.
Really?
I've been to Australia, and we went to a petting zoo there.
Okay.
And my cousin was with me, and this was before I got there, but he actually got kicked somewhere by a kangaroo that wouldn't feel good.
I think that's a pretty big target. I wouldn't want to be kicked anywhere, but I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, they're really like cuddly and creatures.
I've heard they're the jerks of the animal kingdom.
They look. hopping around, and they're kind of funny, you know?
There's video. Look, they're kind of adorable, but there's videos of them really going after people and kicking them and all kinds of, whatever, if they feel threatened. All right. I'm getting off on a tangent. All right. More conspiracy talk coming up next. I'm going to tell you what I thought about the Lincoln Lawyer. It's Pete Schwaba. We're making our popcorn pick of the week. Nikki will be here at 6:35. This is Pete Schwaba and Night Light on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Fills my heart when I want to run away. I drive
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
It's time to get out the truth about Eric Hovde. Hovde made his money the old-fashioned way. He inherited it. How can he relate or make decisions for us? Now he's the CEO of a billion-dollar bank in California and a huge landlord. With people like Eric Hovde, the rich pay less, and we pay the price. I'm not a political person. I'm a mom. I would never vote for a person like Eric Hovde.
Paid for by a Better Wisconsin Together Action. abwt-action.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for 60 months.
Visit PellaWI.com.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.
When Todd Alba was here, that we were going to do.
Oh, we forgot to play the
dogs singing happy birthday, barking happy birthday.
Yeah, we'll have to do that next time, even though we'll be way past his birthday.
All right. Well, we have him on. We could have him on before his birthday next year and get the jump.
Now it's an early birthday.
True. That's true. We're
really
not late.
Early.
We're just getting a jump on next year. Unlike all those other Civic Media people who wished you happy birthday. All right, so you sent this in the chat. It's a picture of a headless horseman.
Yeah,
but that has nothing to do with.
I just like that picture. I thought it was cool.
It's a creepy picture, but which is weird because you don't like scary stuff, but you still sent it.
Yeah,
which I can respect. The name Jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. I need more information than that.
Well, maybe we can get it from our guest.
This guy does not like to shell out money. Let's call him Jack-o'-lantern. I don't make the connection. So we'll ask, maybe Carly knows that, or Jessica. Our question of the night is, who is your least favorite TV talk show host? Could be late night, daytime, morning, you name it. Send it to us, and we will read it. I've said Jay Leno and Jimmy Fallon for nighttime. You know, there's a lot of nighttime talk show hosts I haven't watched either. I don't know much about James Corden. I didn't watch Craig Ferguson much.
Corbin's all right.
Corden's okay?
Yeah, Corden. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think he's all right.
Craig Kilborn was there for like a week. Chevy Chase was a late night talk show host.
Really?
He and Magic Johnson around the same time both launched Late Night Talkers. And they both, it was like a race to the bottom. Like, I don't think either one of them lasted a week. Chevy Chase might have lasted like a day or two and realized he wanted no part of it. But that is our question today. Who is your least favorite TV talk show host? Sherry says, hi, good evening, Pete and Conrad. Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, too. You know, I kind of get that about Conan. Conan's not warm. He's not smooth. But I don't mind that. Conan is kind of jumpy and nervous and weird. But he plays off of that, and it works for him. But I hear what you're saying, Sherry. She says, I loved Johnny. Daytime all sucked. Yeah, most of them did. Agreed. Tom from New Berlin says, please find the time Howard Stern was on Jay Leno. Stern owned him. We have to find that, Conrad. I kind of vaguely remember that now that you mentioned that, Tom. All right, we'll look for that. That sounds like gold. L.A. Tom says, loved many apologies, Tom, and happy birthday. I don't think that was meant for us. Do you, Conrad? We haven't heard from L.A. Tom in a while, though. Listen, it's good to hear from Tom, even if the text was not directed toward us. It's just good to see Tom's text.
I'll take the happy birthday.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
June 10th.
June 10th?
Yes.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Mine's closer, actually. Annie from Watertown says, wow, I thought of Downey Jr., but thought too ancient. But yeah, he started the real slime aspect. Agree on Jay Leno, and Judge Judy is a disgrace to mankind. Don't hold back, Annie. That's what the text line is for. Great text, folks. Keep them coming. Okay, Conrad, here you go. Chevy Chase Show is an American late-night talk show hosted by actor and comedian Chevy Chase that aired in 1993 on Fox. The series was canceled after 6 weeks on the air. Maybe it was Magic Johnson that only lasted a week.
Yeah, I'm looking for that right now to see.
I think he was even worse, or was on even. I actually remember when Chevy Chase got his talk show, I thought, he's funny, he's witty. Maybe he'll do great at this. And it was awkward to watch.
So it actually lasted. It lasted 3 months.
Chevy Chase?
No,
Magic.
It's called the Magic Hour.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't really like that name.
I don't either. And he's a likable guy. They were probably thinking, yeah, he'd be great at this, but it's not. I can't imagine. I would imagine it's like a lot harder. I've read stuff about how hard Letterman and Carson and Leno and those guys worked. It's a ton of work. Can't you show up and be likable, right? So it's also National Compliment Day, and here we are asking people to send us who their least favorite. We're trashing them. But we could have gone the croc route because yesterday was National Croc Day.
Yeah.
And I assume they meant the shoe and not the a dial.
Yeah, it wasn't a dial.
It was the shoe.
Yep.
The half shoe. And I have a pair. I said to myself years ago, I'd never buy a pair of Crocs. I just thought they looked weird. But my son bought a pair because his generation didn't care. They're less fashion conscious, I guess, or less self-conscious, and were willing to wear Crocs. And he just kind of stopped wearing them. So they're around the house. Now they're like my take out the garbage shoes.
Yeah,
I can just slide them on.
That's what mine are used for.
Yeah. I've probably rocked them occasionally at Walmart and fit right,
in. I use them when I go to the gym before I go. So I just put my gym shoes on at the gym,
Yeah, that makes sense. There was another dad in our neighborhood. We got into the game Frisbee Ultimate for a while, about 5 years ago, right before COVID. And the dads and the kids would play for like 2 summers. And this dad would wear Crocs. And he didn't even have them in 4-wheel. He had the strap, I'm like, you're going to kill yourself.
That's a sprained ankle waiting to happen.
He never did, though.
Wow.
I know. I thought if that was me, I'd be out of commission. So I want to say, if you guys are looking for a great show, and I mentioned this last week, but I just finished the show last night, season 3 of The Lincoln Lawyer. Such a good show. Love the characters, love the writing. They're based on Michael Connelly's books, great crime writer. Also wrote the Bosch books, and that show's great too. Lincoln Lawyer has similarities to Bosch in how it's shot. It's a little less noirish, if you will, but a really good show. Highly recommend it. I might go back and watch season 1 now. I'm kind of doing anything I can to not watch Bad Monkey, even though I want to watch Bad Monkey.
You need to watch it.
I know. I'll probably get into it. I haven't hit the switch yet, but
once you get like episode 4, I feel like it's going to be like, okay.
Yeah, that's what you said.
You're going to binge it then.
All right. This Brady Bunch show was going to happen, a revival. They were going to pick up where they're all adults, but they're not going to do it. And, Cindy Brady, Susan Olsen says it's because of her political views. Kind of find that hard to believe. Like, they could have written around that or just not had her on the show if they couldn't come to terms. But that's in my Hollywood Beats for tomorrow. Check it out. All right. It's our popcorn pick of the week. Nikki Zerjev will be here in just a few minutes. She is the newest member of the WGBW team here in Green Bay. And she's awesome. She's been on the show before. Carly Ide from Outrageous Pumpkins at 7:05. And Jessica Simpson from Jack-O-Lantern Days in Fish Creek. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. UW-Madison is currently leading a nationwide Alzheimer's study, and because of it, it's getting $150 million from the National Institutes of Health, the largest NIH grant in UW history. UW-Madison was selected to pilot the study's first series of brain scans because of its established network of participants. The 5-year study of about 2,000 participants launched in August and involves 37 Alzheimer's research centers across the United States. Brown County Board of Supervisors approved its 2025 budget this week, including the county's lowest property tax rate on record. The 2025 mill rate will decrease by 24 cents, going from $3.04 to $2.80. Brown County's budget levy for 2025 is $94.53 million, about $46,000 less than 2024's budget. The county's outstanding debt will increase again in 2025 by just over $7.5 million, bringing the total to $35.9 million, the lowest level it's been in 35 years. Main Street Alliance has affordable health care and insurance availability for small business owners and their employees as a key issue for candidates in this election. They sponsored a forum for the 18th Senate District candidates last night. Democrat Kristen Alfheim.
Everyone deserves the right to be insured. Everyone. It does not matter who you are. If an employer is trying to offer it, let's help them do that. But the bottom line is everybody must be covered somehow, some way, and it's got to be affordable to do it, and I am open to plenty of ideas to make that happen.
Anthony Phillips, the Republican in the race, was invited but did not attend. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. 'Tis the season. Stephen King's novel Carrie is about to hit the little screen. Prime Video has announced that Mike Flanagan will turn King's novel into an 8-episode series. Flanagan has worked on other King stories, including Dr. Sleep, which was the sequel to The Shining. Carrie is the novel that put King on the map back in 1974. It was turned into a feature film in 1976. It's a great time of year to check out anything by Stephen King. In addition to horror films, there have been a slew of animated films released this year that impressed both critics and theater owners. IndieWire just released its Oscar predictions for Best Animated Feature, and Pixar Disney's Inside Out 2 is the odds-on favorite for Best Picture. The film made $1.6 billion worldwide. It is the highest-grossing animation film of all time. Other contenders include DreamWorks' The Wild Robot and Sideshow's Flow. Great recommendations for this weekend if you're done with the scares. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Have you ever Reserve your tickets today for Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. Go to fishonmarinette.com to learn more.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, a few showers and storms around. Lows in the low 40s. Sunshine returns for Friday and Saturday, highs upper 50s. Sunshine and highs in the low 60s Sunday. Even warmer to start the work week next week, highs jump into the 70s. Right now it's 58.
Get your tickets today for the premier fall event, Blues, Brews, and Barbecues in Marinette, Wisconsin. Featuring 6 elite barbecue chefs, award-winning craft beer, and 2 iconic blues musicians. Kicking off the night, Hall of Fame inductee Joe Moss. Following Joe Toronzo Cannon. Playing tunes from his current #1 album, Shut Up and Play. November 2nd at the Community Rec, Blues, Brews, and Barbecues. Go to fishonmarinette.com and click on the pig for more information.
Supported by Travel Wisconsin.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app. Dom Selvia.
Next time, former U.S. Attorney James.
It's time for the Nite Popcorn Pick of the Week, where we recommend a movie that you'll either enjoy or won't. Here's your host, Pete Schwaba.
All right. One of my favorite times of the week is Thursday, our popcorn pick of the week, because it's what we do. We talk about popcorn. We talk about popcorn. We talk about movies. We talk about TV. And what goes better with movies or TV than popcorn? And what goes better with a popcorn pick of the week than WGBW's own Nikki Zerjev, who joins us in the studio
to
help us make our pick. It's so fun to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
How is it going here for you so far? You've been working? Okay.
Yeah.
A month, maybe?
Yeah, over a month. Is that I've passed the 30-day test?
And you're still here. You haven't run away, and that's outstanding. Well, this is fun.
I love it.
So I just want to say, you have gone above and beyond. We've got, if you're watching on the stream, we've got, Nikki brought in her laundry. No, she brought in, look at these. I've never even seen this before. This is candy Snickers popcorn.
So, you know how you're not supposed to go grocery shopping when you're hungry? You're
did.
Also not supposed to just, let's go pick up popcorn.
Yeah.
For the segment with Pete.
She went overboard. If you can see the screen back here with the screensaver, there's 2 things of popcorn. And, did you leave those pieces of popcorn out on purpose just to make it look more lived? I love it. I love it. That's so great.
Like they were overflowing jugs of popcorn.
I love it. And then we've got popcorn here. It's just, there's snacks everywhere. And we've got, then
maybe we can, should we just stick with traditional movie theater butter? Should we, dabble into some candy popcorn?
Twinkies, Conrad, that's like hot dog water. Look at that.
Hot dog gravy. We call it hot dog gravy.
What's that?
Oh,
that's
I don't
a great
know.
snack, a movie snack. What is that?
Mexican street corn popcorn.
Look at that though.
That looks good.
Peppers on that.
And as we were just discussing, hot food, but I don't think that's hot. I don't think that's spicy.
But look at that. That looks outstanding.
It does.
Yeah. All right. So we got, and then this. I don't eat after 4 o'clock typically, but this would be gone by now.
Yeah, Snickers popcorn. You gotta try that.
Did this come out of your own pocket?
It was only from the Dollar Tree though, so it
all
looks
of these,
impressive.
That's still about $30 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're going to get.
I know that's why I
reimbursed
gotta come back to work tomorrow and sell something.
If this were the office, you'd be like Michael Scott, and they would take away your corporate credit card right now.
Oh my gosh!
So
Sage would remotely destroy my credit card. Then I got into the snack department.
Yeah,
because sometimes you don't always know if you want popcorn. What if you want something?
I think all
salty?
of these are great. Look at this
Kettle corn.
That looks like I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but that looks like Dollar Tree or Dollar Store packaging.
100%.
Brims. I've never heard of that.
Right.
It's like
the color of this popcorn.
It just screams Dollar Store.
It might actually glow. Make you glow, iridescent.
Nothing says recall like that packaging.
It's fine. We're all preserved from
it doesn't
the inside
matter.
out.
There's so many preservatives. We'll be fine. Okay, so what is your favorite movie, snack, or TV? Let's do movie first. What do you like to? Let's say you go to the theater.
It
you're at Bay Park
obviously
Square.
depends, right?
Yeah. What are you ordering at Bay Park Square when you go to a movie?
Well, yes, popcorn is fine, but then to have to, do I share? Do I get the big bucket for myself? Does that look a little much? I don't know. I get self-conscious about that stuff. So then maybe I'd rather just have like the pretzels or something like that where I can have it myself.
You know what I like? One time I went into our theater in Marinette, and I don't like nacho hot cheese. I find it really gross and processed. But with a pretzel, but with a pretzel with salt on it, you dip that in there. Maybe the best meal I've ever had.
100%.
So I go into the theater and I said, I'll have a pretzel with the cheese. And I go, oh, this cheese, can you warm this up? The guy goes, oh, you want it heated? I go, no, I want cold nacho cheese. And the pretzel had no salt on it. So I'm dipping bread in cold nacho cheese. It's like ruin the snack.
Well, and you'd never sit down at home, right?
No.
And grab a slice of bread out and dip it in some.
Honey, do we have any cold processed cheese I could dip this Wonder Bread?
Cheese whiz around that I can just nuke for a few seconds.
Exactly. So that I like, but I don't usually do the popcorn. But they also have in Marinette, you can bring your own bucket in. You buy the bucket.
Yes.
And I find that so demeaning.
But they don't give it to you in the bucket. They don't actually refill the bucket. Do you know that? They just
I've seen people bring buckets in.
Well, right.
Oh.
You have purchased the bucket, and then you bring the bucket, and when they see that you have the bucket, they just give you like a Ziploc, a giant.
Oh, and you get to pour it in?
Or, yes, correct.
Oh, because it's not sanitary?
Exactly.
Well, nothing they do is sanitary. They're touching the popcorn. That's like those restaurants where you have to go make your own steak. And I'm like, I got suckered into that like 30 years ago. My brother, I flew into Milwaukee, and he's like, "Come on, this is a great place." And I'm standing there going, "Why am I at a restaurant making my own food?
Right,
like,
we should be in a backyard."
Doesn't make any sense.
Yes,
yeah,
that upsets my husband as well.
It's only 30.
But yes, so
30 bucks.
everything processed just for you.
But I'll do processed, but I just this one is my favorite. This sweet corn. It's hers. Now, I've heard of that brand.
I think there might be some artificial colors and or flavors in the cheese balls.
Those look like the cheese balls you get right out of the ground. I don't know. You think those are
out of the ground?
Conrad, you've been to that cheese ball farm outside of a.
You don't like cheese balls, right?
I'll eat cheese balls.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'll eat anything. If I'm weak and hungry, all bets are off.
And then you're at the Dollar Tree, and then you.
It's bad, but okay. So I'm with you. I'll get popcorn in a movie. What about you're just at home watching TV? You're about to sit down with, let's say you got 3 or 4 episodes of your favorite show lined up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna make or eat?
Big fan. Yeah, chips. I'm just chips, salty, crunchy. Sometimes it can be just a plain thin Lay's. Sometimes you want something a little beefier, maybe sturdy. Get the rough. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Don't laugh because you know it's true.
I know what you mean. It just was
because
a funny.
You can't, for instance, like a dip. You can't take a regular Lay's into a chip dip.
Correct.
Shattered.
That'll break right off.
Shattered.
Yeah. And you got
What
to
a
call the
joke.
paramedics, and it's.
Well, then you have to like scoop.
Right.
Then it's
And the chip breaks up.
Right.
And then it becomes chip and dip casserole.
Fine, I've done that too. Don't worry about it.
Right. No, I get
just
it.
Smash them and anyway.
I like the chip too, though. I wish did we do this question one night? If you could eat any food and not put on a pound, what would it be? I thought we did that.
We did do that, yeah.
Okay, and I said chips because I can't. Once I start eating chips, all bets are off, and it's
But
like.
then does something like a Chex Mix, does that fall into a chips category?
Oh, Chex Mix is so good.
It is good, but it's probably not any healthier. Well, maybe it is a little healthier
Listen,
than chips.
body by carbs, I'm not, we're not going
Dad
for.
bod. Yeah, no, here's my wife used this term, and that's why I think I laughed when you said beefy chip. She said, well, let's just have sandwiches for dinner. This is years ago. So let's just have sandwiches for dinner and then, pick up like a fun chip.
A fun chip.
So my kids,
Like a
we
treat.
always tease her. Like we're
A
like,
fun chip.
what's a fun chip, though? It's like,
Well, sure.
Fun flavor.
Yeah, that's what she meant. Fun flavor, but it was like.
They got some weird flavors out there now.
I know. There's some
It's
of
a
them don't
bit
even
out
make
of
sense.
control.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Chip industry's hard at work. So, all right. So, do you have a least favorite TV talk show host?
Sure do.
Oh, yes. Lay it on us.
Oh, man. This is going to upset the apple cart.
But first, a snack.
But first, let me chew on an Airhead. Airhead bites.
Those are nice.
Right.
If you're watching on the stream,
I'm not chewing.
you what are you doing?
I'm not right now. I just.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. This is a very laid back.
Very sure.
I hope I haven't.
So I love what she does in theory, but I am a child of the 80s and 90s, and I am done with Oprah.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do tell.
It's
because you didn't get a car.
I didn't get a car. I didn't get a car. No.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Did you just get tired of her?
Yeah, I'm exhausted by her.
She
I
hasn't
find
been
her
around.
exhausting.
Okay, so like she hasn't been around in a while. Like, could you?
And I am just fine with that. And I feel terrible. I know that she has gobs of money, and I know she does a lot of good things with parts of her gobs of money.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Lean into
She's a
that.
good person, but you just don't need to watch her anymore.
I don't. I'm good.
That's fair.
I'm good.
Okay.
I feel really bad saying that. too.
Why?
I don't
Are you
know.
friends?
Not at all.
Okay.
She has no idea who I am. Never will.
Well, not with that attitude.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I mean, I think Oprah. It's hard for me to root against. Like you just said, she does some good things.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of like,
so
I
that's
can't.
why.
Yeah, and she never went trashy.
Right.
I didn't like I had one time my mom and some of my cousins and aunts went to Oprah, and they were in the studio audience, and my cousin Annie got on. They had a shot of her, and it was like a real sensitive subject, and Annie was just like, And we go, that's the Oprah moment. You were the Oprah moment of the
That
show.
face.
Okay, but that's fine. That's what about nighttime? Do you have a nighttime?
I don't stay up that late.
No?
No.
Do you got to get going now? Or are you?
I mean, it's
cutting it
already
close?
past my bedtime, and then I'm gonna co-host with Mino in the morning. So,
Oh, you are?
Oh, it's gonna be a quick turnaround.
Oh, that is a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Yep. The mayor's gonna get some beauty sleep, taking the
mayor's
day off
at a
tomorrow.
basketball game tonight.
Yes, because it's the
Yeah.
UWGB men's basketball exhibition against St. Norbert.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding. And Doug Gottlieb was here the other day,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
apparently
he's the new head coach.
Gottlieb offered Jim tickets. I had already booked Jim for this segment.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I get a call early the next day. Pete, it's Jim Schmidt. I'm really sorry. Doug was on the show this morning. I took the tickets and I totally forgot I had committed to you. Here's what Jim said. He's such a nice guy. He goes, if you don't want me to go to the game, after he told me he had first row seats, he goes, I won't go. I'm like, yeah, Jim, I'm going to be that guy.
That is so funny. And I know it bothered him then. And then funny that I am sitting in here for him tonight and then
you
doing
after
the same
sitting
thing
him,
tomorrow.
You're going to be sitting in this chair tomorrow.
I know. I will have to sit in. You're right.
And Jim and I, this is probably too much information. I've learned after sitting in this chair for over 10 months now where Jim sits, we must have the same shaped butt because the chair is perfect.
Every time.
Right. And I don't know what that means.
Maybe it's that memory foam.
It could be. Like when the car, when
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
in,
yeah.
oh, Pete's here, and I know they know how to put the seat, right? Move the cushion a little bit this way. He likes that.
Oh, that's what that sound is when you sit down.
Right. Nikki Zerjev is here, ladies and gentlemen. She's helping us make our popcorn pick of the week. Sheila Rosenberg is checking in on the stream, and she says, if you hear a tap on your window, it's just me looking for a snack.
Right, Sheila? There are a lot of snacks.
Yeah, I don't.
Sheila must be downtown tonight.
So you just spilled the beans. I was going to say, we really don't have enough to share, Sheila. Let me just hide these.
No,
Put those away.
because my cohort, Jesse, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jesse from the marketing department.
Nice guy. He's a snack guy.
He is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Todd and Amanda will all just crush these snacks tomorrow, too.
I think this is very good strategy. The new girl,
Right.
bringing snacks.
No big
How are
deal.
you not? What are you going to give out on Halloween this year?
So I live in one of those neighborhoods that we give out full-size candy bars.
That's
It
you could
is.
Take a second mortgage on your
Cha-ching,
house.
cha-ching.
Yeah.
And not, and it's not 12 kids coming to my neighborhood. We have the hood that people drop off and then pick up. And we're at the end of the cul-de-sac. It's phenomenal. It really is. At some point, I do get a little like, all right, oh, you forgot to say thank you. You forgot,
right.
Like I start yelling.
If the mood catches you.
Correct. Ooh. And
I
then
like that kid's attitude.
my husband is kind enough to remind me that I'm responsible if our house gets egged.
Oh, do they do that?
They don't, but I think, again, pop culture has us convinced that that's what children do.
You know, when I was a kid in Chicago, we lived on the northwest side of the city, and our house got egged on Devil's Night, they called it. I think it started in Detroit. But my dad gets in the car, and I go with him looking for the kids that egged our house, and I'm in the passenger seat going, God, I hope we don't find them. Like, what's my dad? He's an attorney. Like, what are you going to take on a gang, Dad? Just let's let this one go. It's stucco. Don't worry about it, you know.
Oh, God, right?
All right, we're going to make our popcorn pick of the week when we come back. Nikki's going to give us her pick. We are going to talk more about, oh, my gosh, snacks. And then this is good, too, because I've got to go do the whites. So this is a win-win tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Nikki Zerjev is here. We're coming right back on Night Light with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matinee on Air.
The green and gold tailgating the frozen tundra. Lambeau Field has a legacy all its own, including where to build it. Residents on both sides of Green Bay argued for it. Officials wanted property with room for growth. In the end, 50 acres of farmland was purchased, but the address, Schwaba. More bargaining, and in 1956, the land was annexed to Green Bay. Now, do you know the other reason leaders considered this annexation so important? Parking, beer sales, keeping the Packers in Green Bay? The answer coming up. The Green Bay City Stadium project moved quickly from there and in less than a year opened with a Packers-Bears game. It became Lambeau Field in 1965 following the death of team co-founder and coach Curly Lambeau. So did you guess why the land annexation was so important? It's all three, keeping the team in the city, parking, and beer sales. Schwaba was dry at the time. Officials believe Packers fans wanted to be able to buy beer and could in Green Bay. This history makes it a true slice of Wisconsin. I'm Terry Barr for the Civic Media Radio Network.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Todd Alba Show.
Either Donald Trump or Kamala Harris is going to win this race. Don't be the person saying, I agree with Kamala Harris on 80%, but I was really ticked off about X. And I wanted to send her a message, so I didn't vote or I voted for someone else. And then you get Trump, and people are going to say, you can't have a national abortion ban. They have to listen to us. We're the people. It'll be too late. Your vote is powerful. Do not waste it.
The Todd Alba.
Back with Snacks O'Plenty. The 414 Wendy. Oh, not Wendy. I'm sorry. Wendy Williams, ever since she empathized with a murderer and felt horrible for how bad jail time was for her, it turned me way off of her. Also, she's just a horrible person.
Oh, P.S.
Kind of buried the lead there. Oh, and she's terrible all the way around.
I think she's unwell now.
I think she is too, yeah. Carrie from Tosa says, Conan O'Brien's show made me too anxious. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Like, Conan's like kind of jumpy and
yes.
uncomfortable, but it works for him.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, that's funny. Jameson from Pennsylvania says, I've always wanted to hate Crocs. Then I tried a pair on. The Chewbacca ones
oh, no.
with the removable soft inside.
Oh, there's removable ones?
I guess so. Now they're my trash and walking the dog shoes, too. Mm-hmm. Speaking on court shows, it's not the same as you said, but shout out to the original Night Court. True? Okay.
Oh, I love Judge Harry.
I do too. Yeah. He passed away, didn't he? I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
Tom from New Berlin says, please, Pete, if you find it, I think Jay squashed it. Share if found. You having any luck with that, K-Man?
No.
Tom, if we find it, I promise we'll play it. We're probably more likely to find it by tomorrow. Conrad just learned how to use Google a few minutes ago.
I don't even know what I'm doing
about the
back
internet
here. I don't know what I'm doing.
The entire thing is blowing his mind over there.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard, what does this button do? No, I'm kidding. From the 740, usually a sweets first, popcorn second kind of guy, the old switcheroo. But that Snickers popcorn sounds banging.
So I broke open,
I love it.
adjacent to the Snickers popcorn, I broke open the Fruity
Fruity
Pebbles cereal pop.
Yeah, I love that.
Spoiler alert, it tastes like Fruity Pebbles.
Which, let's be honest, aren't that great? They're okay.
Well, they get soggy too fast.
Yeah.
You have to be very minimal with your milk.
I agree.
I have thoughts and feelings on
all these
cereal to
snacks.
milk ratios. I've got one of those bowls that,
Okay.
you can control the amount of milk that goes in. And
Oh, wow.
I actually do it the reverse way. Like, I think most people pour milk in the big containers or the side of it. No. That's
How do
the
you mean,
cereal.
like you control, like if you want more milk?
Yeah. Well, it's a divided bowl. It's just a bowl with a divider in it. Some of them actually have like a little, almost like a little milk slide.
Wow. The cereal scientists are always improving.
You can find a lot on that World Wide Web. I tell you what.
That's what they tell me. The 740 continues and says, how about those kettle chips that destroy your mouth?
I know, but...
Is that a good thing, or does he mean that in a good way?
Well, I think it's, again, pleasure
Or
through
cavities.
pain. What about like salt and vinegar too?
Yeah.
Those chips are so good, but the tang, all of a sudden, when you feel like the inside of your mouth blistering with like canker sores, you've gone too far.
Put the chips down.
Step away.
Hey, Chubbs, you've had enough.
We got to grease the doorway when you go.
Right. Put the chips down.
Anyway, big
All
fan
right.
of the snacks.
I think we're at our point before we run out of time because Nikki's so much fun. We got to do this. Conrad, are we ready? It is time for the popcorn pick of the week. Compliments of Nikki Zerjav. Conrad, if you would, please.
It's going to be a little bit of untraditional.
Okay, that's okay. There's no
Out
wrong
of
answer.
left field. This is right field, though. Out of left
Okay.
field. My popcorn pick of the week. Let me see what year. 1996 this movie came out.
Give us another hint.
Star-studded cast, including... No.
Okay.
But charming movie. This is going to fly under the radar.
Okay.
Great soundtrack. Includes actors like Timothy Hutton, Matt Dillon, Michael Rappaport.
Crash.
No. Natalie Portman, Uma Thurman, Matt Dillon, Rosie O'Donnell.
You said Matt Dillon twice.
Fine. Lauren Holly.
Lauren Holly?
Mira Sorvino.
Mighty Aphrodite?
Nope. Would you like me to give you the synopsis?
Yes.
Please hold.
All right, Nikki is giving us her popcorn of the week. This is the pick that has taken the longest, but it's the most fun to try to guess.
1996.
1996. Lots of cast of thousands.
Thousands. Copious amounts. Great soundtrack as well. Beautiful girls.
Oh, yes.
Look at
I
that
should have
cringe
got that.
face.
I should have
Look
got
at the
that.
cringe on his face.
No, there's no cringe. I need
very
to
young
give that a
Natalie
rewatch.
Portman.
Yeah.
Very young, very adorable.
I got to give that a rewatch. I forgot about that movie, and I remember really liking it.
It's just...
That's a great pick.
It's under the radar.
It's under the radar. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Beautiful Girls, compliments of Nikki Zerjav. That's a great pick. And
Might not even be able to find it on streams, honestly. I
find that hard to believe with that cast. And
I know.
It's not that
That's
old,
what's
you know?
crazy. It's shocking.
Yeah. I might check that out tonight. That's great. That's a great pick. Thank you.
I don't know. Thanks for having me. I'm taking my...
So, can we have this wrapped?
Right.
A doggy bag?
The Go box. Could we get this in a Go laundry basket?
Did you ever have that? Like my dad, when we'd leave a restaurant, by the time the waiter said, "Do you want a box?" and brought back the boxes, he would have cleaned everyone's plate. His nickname was No Doggy Bag Schwaba because he He goes, can you pass that over here? There's nothing. So we take home empty boxes and heat them up
No
the next
doggy
day.
bag Schwaba.
NBS. All right. Nikki Zerjev, thanks so much. I love that you came in tonight, too.
Oh, absolutely.
All the way from,
I can't just mail it in.
From the burbs. No, you couldn't have emailed these snacks in. All right. We've got snacks we got to clean up. We'll do that while Civic Media's award-winning news is playing. And when we come back from the hit show on the Food Network, Outrageous Pumpkins, local girl and local artist Carly I joins us. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Maggie Dawn.
You wondering why Republicans are lying about the polls? Yeah, that's all the place setter for Big Lie 2.0. I discuss it next. Don't miss it.
The Maggie Dawn Show, weekday afternoons from 2 till 4. The Dom Salvia Show.
Donald Trump was in the great state of Michigan, my birth state, and he insulted Detroit.
Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
You're in Detroit, man! I would tell you, sir, we would only be so lucky if we had the mentality of people trying to do better for their cities, for small businesses moving in. There's a renaissance going on in the city of Detroit.
The Dom Salvia Show, weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app. Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW 1590 AM Denmark, W250CV Green Bay, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Eric and Lyle Menendez are being recommended for resentencing, meaning their life without parole for the 1989 murders of their parents would allow parole.
They have been in prison for nearly 35 years.
Los Angeles County DA George Gascon says he'll make the request to the court tomorrow.
I believe that they have paid their debt to society.
Parole could be granted almost immediately. After meeting with Qatari officials to try to get a Gaza ceasefire, Secretary of State Antony Blinken heads to London. Palestinian medical officials say an Israeli air attack on a Gaza school housing displaced people killed at least 17, nearly all women and children. Former President Trump holding rallies in Arizona and Nevada. Vice President Harris holding a campaign event in Georgia with former President Obama, Beyonce, and Bruce Springsteen. The most far-reaching of Ohio's laws restricting abortion was struck down today by a county judge who cites last year's voter-approved measure protecting the right. This is ABC News. Police and arson investigators in Arizona have arrested a man accused of burning a mailbox containing ballots.
A number of election ballots in Phoenix, Arizona were damaged after the Phoenix Fire Department says a U.S. Postal Service mailbox was set on fire this morning. It's believed only 5 ballots were destroyed, but the Secretary of State's office thinks it could have been up to 20. The Secretary of State says it was a deliberate act of vandalism, and police are conducting a criminal investigation with postal inspectors. Zoreen Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
The Arizona Secretary of State says state ballot drop boxes have fire suppression equipment. The Justice Department announced a settlement with operators of the ship that collided with Baltimore's Key Bridge in March, killing 6 workers, closing the port for weeks. Grace Ocean Private Limited and Synergy Marine Private Limited have agreed to pay almost $102 million to settle civil claims. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
All Wisconsinites want our lawmakers to fight for a better future, but some elected officials are working to strip away our rights, like the right to make our own healthcare decisions or send our kids to well-funded schools. Wisconsin voters will be asked to change the state constitution on their November ballot. This anti-voter constitutional amendment could disenfranchise or create barriers for eligible voters. We're not going back. The League of Women Voters of Wisconsin is urging voters to vote no on the November 5th constitutional amendment.
Civic Media, Wisconsin's source for real news and great conversation, offers podcasts of all of our daily shows online and on demand. Simply go to civicmedia.us, click on daily shows, and choose the podcast that you want to download. Shows are updated daily, or you can save them and listen all at once. Our podcasts are sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. You are an organ donor, right? Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Learn more at heroicdeed.com.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at wgbw.fm.
Civic Media News, I'm Derek Tritz. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. The Wisconsin Elections Commission received reports Thursday morning that some local election officials are still experiencing label printing delays for absentee envelope labels. WEC staff continued to work with state partners to pinpoint the root cause and improve label printing time.
Shortly after, the Green Bay City Council held a press conference showing solidarity with the mayor in negotiations with the Packers to extend the lease at Lambeau Field. The team extended a new offer that includes rent increases. It does not, however, include a community benefit statement or economic development in the city. Green Bay City Council President Brian Johnson.
That a lot of these are things that the Packers are already doing in our community. We acknowledge that, and we know that, and we're so appreciative of those investments. However, we want a lease to capture that.
It's now up to the mayor and outside counsel to evaluate the offer.
And that's what you need to know. I'm Derek Tritz, and this is Civic Media News.
The Bucks win their season opener. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks with a 124-109 win over the 76ers in Philadelphia. Damian Lillard had 30 points and was asked, did the Bucks play better on defense?
Yeah, I think especially when it came down to the paint, Brooke was a beast. Giannis was a beast protecting the paint. That's what we talked about. Our base defense of just getting stops and protecting the paint like we want to. I thought, our bigs did a great job of that.
Bucks head coach Doc Rivers.
It was great. The game plan was exactly what we wanted.
The Bucks host the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night. College football, the Badgers getting ready to host the number 3 ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State. Game time 6:30 at Camp Randall Stadium Saturday night. NFL, the Packers have former Jets head coach and 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh evaluating the offense. I asked quarterback Jordan Love, can it help?
Yeah, I think it helps. Having a defensive, mind, talking offense and helping us, with things that we might be able to see, it helps.
That's Packers quarterback Jordan Love. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, a few showers and storms around. Lows in the low 40s. Sunshine returns for Friday and Saturday, highs upper 50s. Sunshine and highs in the low 60s Sunday. Even warmer to start the work week next week, highs jump into the 70s. It's 55 right now.
John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
On Friday's show, Nate Vandervest from Bell and Sports Medicine joins us to discuss recovery.
And in our Heights Pub and Parlor music series, we'll feature
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who always looks ahead, even when parallel parking, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Nightlight on this gorgeous Thursday night here in downtown Green Bay, broadcasting statewide from City Deck Landing. Conrad, the lovable producer, Conrad riding shotgun. Great to have you with me tonight, and that was fun. That was probably our most fun popcorn pick of the week, I think. Nikki was great. So now we are going to turn our attentions to a local artist. And I'm saying that first because she was an artist before she was a TV star, but she's also kind of a TV star now. It is my pleasure to welcome to Nightlight for the first time Northeast Wisconsin and Appleton native and one of the stars of Outrageous Pumpkins on the Food Network, artist Carly I joins us now. Hi, Carly.
Hi, thank you so much for having me tonight.
Hey, this is a blast. It's great to have you. How's it going? How's your night going?
Oh, it's going fantastic. I had a day off today, so I got some art done and then just got back to the gym and now into my pajamas and ready to rock.
Oh, man, that was exhausting just listening to your day. I don't think that's a good sign. So what's a day? I think I read, before we get into your TV show, Outrageous Pumpkins, you're an artist locally, and so what is your day? Is that what you do most days, is practice art?
Yeah, I'm actually a full-time tattoo artist. So nice. I own my own studio here in Appleton. It's just a little private place just for me. That way I can just have a relaxing time with my clients, and we can listen to music and make some art and get them a great tattoo. And so I usually work on Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, and then my weekends are spent doing art for myself. So chalk drawing, pumpkin carving, illustration work, pretty much anything I can get my hands on.
That's so great. I remember always having these discussions. I was a stand-up comic for years, and we would always, my friends and I would discuss what's the best day job. You know, and a lot of actors wait tables, but yours is kind of still doing what you do. Like, that is artistry, tattoo work. What's the name of your store?
Absolutely. It's just my first and last name, except while my last name is spelled I-H-D-E, my studio is called Carly Ide Studio, and Ide is spelled E-Y-E-D, so that people know how to say it right. So
love it.
You said it perfectly, so thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's jump in. You're on this great all-star season of Outrageous Pumpkins. That must have felt good to get invited back. But before we get to that season, tell us how you got in touch. You live in Appleton, great town, good-sized town, but not the showbiz capital of the world by any stretch. How did you get involved with Outrageous Pumpkins?
Well, I've always been around Wisconsin. I actually grew up in Green Bay, around Swamico, really close to the zoo.
Nice.
And yeah, so my mom was an art teacher, and so it's just something that we've always done, and I've always been a little bit of a ham. So having a strong online presence is really important, especially with all the freelancing that I did for most of my art career. So really, the funny thing is I actually applied for a job with Food Network way back when I graduated from college. I went to college in New Jersey for comic book illustration. And
cool.
On my way out, I was looking for a good gig, and I saw that Food Network was hiring to draw kind of the in-between pieces of artwork. I don't know if you've ever watched any Food Network or competition shows, but usually I think it's also a British baking show has them, where it's just these little illustrations of what the contestants are planning on doing. And it's just to show the audience kind of their dream and their goal for their final piece. And I was applying for a position to do that. But they contacted me and let me know that the position was filled, but they were casting to do looking for pumpkin carvers. And being the go-getter I said, oh, I can do that. And I never have in my life. So I spent the last 10 years just carving pumpkins, posting images online. And every year I would apply to Food Network and just say, well, this is something that I do, and it's a unique ability. And and eventually they got me on season 3, Outrageous Pumpkins, which was really awesome.
That is fun. You're an artist, and you kind of BS'd your way onto it, saying, well, of course I carve pumpkins, but how do you...
Fake it till you make it, yeah.
Yeah, you obviously proved that you can do it. How did you do it? How did you, there's no training just for that art form, is there?
Oh, YouTube is a beautiful thing, let me tell you.
Okay.
But, watching other artists do it, I think the biggest step up was I was starting with, spoons and knives. I didn't know what to do. But the biggest step up is finding the right tools. In the industry, we kind of use just carving tools that you would use for any clay piece, but it's kind of reinforced, so it's extra strong, so it's not going to snap as soon as you use it on a pumpkin rind. So essentially, it's just regular carving tools. You can get them off Amazon or, anything not sponsored. And pretty much anywhere, you just kind of watch the videos and see what you can do. I'm always talking to people about, how to find the best pumpkin. You want You want the heaviest one and the biggest one because they're going to have the thickest skin.
Really?
When you go to the pumpkin patches, you pick them up. There's no harm in kind of giving them a heft. And if they seem heavier than they look, that's usually a good one. And then you always want to look to make sure there's no soft spots. And that the skin is going to be kind of the buttery smooth. There's a lot of different textures. You don't want too hard or it'll be really hard to carve. There's a whole bunch of different things to go. And it's not that interesting, but when you watch the show, man, I pick enough rotten ones to know what to look for now.
It sounds like there's a science to it almost, picking out the right pumpkin to make your job a little easier.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, you never know what's in there. There's a lot going on in those things.
My guest is Carly Ide. You can see her on Outrageous Pumpkins on the Food Network. When does the show air, Carly? When can people see you on the show?
The show has, actually, the finale is this Sunday. So the 27th, it's the final episode.
I thought it just started in September.
No, you did.
Wow.
It started September 29th, and then it's been every Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So every Sunday there's an episode, and a team gets knocked off, and then, we're on the way to the finale. And,
look at you.
Well,
nice.
You're talking to me, so there's a good chance I'm in that finale. It's not a spoiler. It's been out for a week, so we're good, hopefully.
That is fantastic.
I do suggest watching it. It's a really fun show.
Yeah, I saw some clips, and do you look down on those of us who don't even carve pumpkins but just use a Sharpie and draw on the pumpkin?
Well, I'm 4'11", so I don't look down on anyone. But
your silence did speak volumes, though.
We had a lot of fun on this season. My partner is 6'7", so he's the tall and the small for sure. But no, you got to start somewhere. And I'll tell you this: I think the way that I carve a pumpkin is a lot safer than a lot of people at home. They're using butcher knives and stuff, and I would hurt myself for sure. I sit in my yard on a tarp and just see what happens. But there's no judging here. There's a million ways to carve a pumpkin, and I'm impressed constantly by what people can do.
Let me ask you this. It looks like, it's a fun show. It's pumpkin carving. It's not like, lasting 30 days without eating, like you're not on an island with bugs. It looks like just a really fun experience. But I would imagine, since it's a competition and this is an all-star season, are you intimidated, or are people very competitive, or do they just kind of have fun?
Well, the first season that you're on, before you get to the All-Stars, that's always the one where everyone's they're feeling it out. There's a huge gap between those that are nervous and uncomfortable and scared, and people who are extremely confident and maybe a little bit cocky and ready to go. And so in that first season, it really separated the pros from maybe someone like me who was still maybe considered a novice compared to some of these other guys who carve year round. So that first season, that was rough on me. I had a tough time, and I really had to catch up on a lot of stuff that I didn't understand. A big part of the competition is building armatures and attaching the pumpkins to create these statues that are not shaped like pumpkins at all. I
didn't even think they were pumpkins. It was like some of the stuff I was looking at, I'm like, that's a pumpkin? That's what you guys do is incredible.
Right. And a lot of artists will paint the pumpkins so they really don't look like pumpkins. I'm all about kind of leaving that natural rind. One, because it's easier, and two, you want people to know they're pumpkins. There's a lot of artists that will carve them, they'll stack them, they'll create these outlandish statues, and then they'll paint them so that they don't look like pumpkin at all. It was that first season was really rough on me, and when they called me back for the All-Star season, I immediately was like, no, there's no way. There's no way I'm coming back. It was really, really rough. But But they told me it was going to be a team, and that was a little bit better. But I said, now can you make sure that us as teammates that we kind of complement each other? Can I be sure that my talent is going to be helpful to them and that their talent is helpful to me? And sure enough, all the teams this season really complement each other and work super well together. And this season, this All-Star season, definitely is the season to have fun and to enjoy yourself and to feel free. You could tell that a lot of the artists were doing things that they've never tried before, and they were just excited to be carving.
You sound like a great teammate, to be honest with you. Carly Ide is here. We'll have a few more minutes with Carly after a very short break here, and I'm going to ask her about her animation career and where that is going and what's the next chapter since she's established herself as a TV star now. All right, it's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Mino and the Mayor.
We have with us Beckett Kay, who is a 9-year-old podcaster. Who's your favorite player then? I mean, you like
on the Ravens?
In general.
In general. Let me guess.
I know what you're going to say, and I'm not going to like it.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Go ahead.
I don't like your sarcasm.
we were talking at break too. All right. I happen to like
It's
the guy.
Justin Jefferson.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday mornings 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS.
Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Arapaho way, you got to pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live.
Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Fear you may be missing out? We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. Enjoy listening live or catch up by finding the podcast at
question tonight, if you still want to get in on the fun, is who is your least favorite TV talk show host? You can go late night, midday, morning. Nikki threw a curveball at us when she said Oprah. I couldn't believe that. But let us know who your least favorite TV talk show is. Talk show host is, rather. 855-752-4842. Jessica Murphy is coming up at 7:35 to tell us about Jack-o'-lantern days in Fish Creek. So this show is all about pumpkins, and we have a local pumpkin TV celebrity here with us right now, which is kind of fun. Carly Ide has joined us. She's an artist from Appleton and owns her own tattoo store in Appleton. Check it out. It's Carly Ide, E-Y-E-D. So check that out, and she can show you what a great artist she is and make it permanent. Right, Carly?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so where do you go from here? You've got some recognition now. You've been on this show twice, which is really cool. What do you try to do with that, Carly? Do you try to get more recognition as an artist? Do you try to go for other creative TV reality shows, or do you just try to build on how do you build on this?
We'll see. Maybe Ink Masters in the future.
Oh, nice.
But I think I think the big thing is just to be constantly growing my repertoire of things that I can do. I actually do have in November coming up here soon. I think it's November 8th or the 10th. I do an online art tournament. That's a worldwide illustration tournament called the Illustrated World Series. And I do that almost every year. I wasn't able to do it last year because I was actually in Virginia filming Outrageous Pumpkins. But this year I'm back on it, and it's one of my favorite events. It's something that's really in my wheelhouse, and that'll be a fun one. You can watch that on Twitch. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I'm very competitive. But more than anything, I just like to stay active because it's so easy to kind of sink into your day job. And I love my day job. It is great because I get to do something different every day.
Yeah.
But in order to make sure that my clients are getting the best tattoo, I have to exercise my art just like anybody has to exercise their body and train. Art is something that you should always be exercising in order to improve and in order to kind of reach that next level. And so it's just my way of exercising by staying active in different kinds of art and learning new skills.
Wow, very well said. Do you ever have shows, or do you show anything at some type of gallery in Appleton, Carly?
Yeah, this past June or July, my sister and my sister's a full-time painter. She's also an artist, and that's all she does is she does these beautiful wildlife paintings. We had a sister show together at the Richardson Gallery in Appleton, which was a nice one. But yeah, I do some painting work, and I really enjoy it. But man, to find the time to just sit down and do an 8-hour painting, it's not easy. But yeah, I do a lot of art shows as well.
I want to ask you about some other stuff you're doing, but before we do that, is there any place people can see or learn more about you? Your social medias? Do you have a website? Help us help you. Tell us where we can find more of your art.
Yeah, I try to keep all of my social medias pretty easy to find. My tattoo studio, Carly Eyed, CarliEyed. You really can look that up anywhere and find me. So I have an illustration Instagram, and I also have Carly Eyed Tattoo, which is specifically my tattoos. There's also a TikTok under Carly Eyed, and there's also Facebook under Carly Eyed. So it's pretty easy to find me, and you can spell my name multiple ways and multiple wrong ways and still find me. So that's good.
Do you like being on TV?
I do like being on TV. It is so much fun to watch, and I always throw a watch party for every premiere of the episode. So there'll be a watch party this Sunday downtown. It's completely public, so anyone can come to Jekyll's in Appleton downtown to go to our watch party. But it's just exciting to see with my friends and to make fun of me and to see me struggling. And also, it's always a surprise to see what the producers and editors keep in the show. Because, man, we made so many bad jokes this season, and it's a really a surprise what they decided to keep in there.
That's interesting. Yeah, you're kind of at their mercy. All right, before we let you go, since you seem like, just by way of pumpkins, that you must have some love for Halloween, do you like scary movies?
I love scary movies.
Give us a suggestion, Carly, if you would. What can you recommend, or what's one of your favorite scary movies? My
absolute favorite scary movie. There's one that's a classic and one that people don't know about.
Okay.
Best classic scary movie would be The Thing.
Great movie.
So, I think it's 1980
Yeah.
something with Kurt Russell. I think Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
and
Kurt
it is
Russell.
so incredibly good, and it's all practical effects, which I really love. But then, all-time best scary movie, and I swear to you, it's very scary. It's called REC, REC, and it's a Spanish horror film, and it's found footage. So if you don't like found footage, don't watch it. But trust me, it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. It's really good.
Oh, that's great. I love when I get something new to check out. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I highly suggest it. If you watch it, tell me, because I'm always really excited to hear what people think.
I will.
And of course, watch it with subtitles. Don't use the dubs, because the dubs ruin it. Just subtitles, and trust me, it won't give away any jump scares. It's very scary.
I love it. All right, well, I'll check it out. Let's have you back on, because I want to ask you about animation, but we're out of time right now, so we'll just have to have you back on, and maybe we'll do it after I watch this movie. That sounds great.
Awesome. I'm a little bit of a talker, so thank you so much
no. Listen, that's what we're doing here. Come on. All right. Good luck Sunday, and it was great meeting you, Carly, and I look forward to doing this again soon, hopefully.
Awesome. Have a good one.
You too. That's Carly Ide. Check her out on Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins. She's in the finals, folks, and she's from Appleton. You'd be well served to check that out this Sunday. So good luck to Carly. Jessica Murphy is coming up next. She's going to tell us about Jack-o'-lantern days in Fish Creek. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Light on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I love her. A teardrop start, and it breaks my heart.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Eric and Lyle Menendez are being recommended for resentencing, meaning their life without parole for the 1989 murders of their parents would allow parole.
They have been in prison for nearly 35 years.
Los Angeles County DA George Gascon says he'll make the request to the court tomorrow.
I believe that they have paid their debt to society.
Parole could be granted almost immediately. After meeting with Qatari officials to try to get a Gaza ceasefire, Secretary of State Antony Blinken heads to London. Palestinian medical officials say an Israeli air attack on a Gaza school housing displaced people killed at least 17, nearly all women and children. Former President Trump holding rallies in Arizona and Nevada. Vice President Harris holding a campaign event in Georgia with former President Obama, Beyonce, and Bruce Springsteen. The most far-reaching of Ohio's laws restricting abortion was struck down today by a county judge who cites last year's voter-approved measure, protecting the right. This is ABC News.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
Civic Media News, I'm Derek Tritz. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. 9 Wisconsin counties have record-breaking unemployment numbers, according to the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development. The announcement came from Governor Tony Evers on Wednesday. Meanwhile, up in the Northwoods, they're making long-term plans for climate change. The Department of Natural Resources announced a new proposal for Rib Mountain State Park. Downhill skiing has been the focal point of the park for decades, but with a 5-degree Fahrenheit increase expected by 2041, the area will be getting less snow. Tony Schumacher, owner of the Great Lakes Weather Service.
For the past 20 years in Michigan and Wisconsin, we definitely have seen an increase in rain and thaw events throughout the winter season. Some 30 or 40 years ago, it was more common to be able to open the ski hills in this part of the world generally in mid-November. Now it's often been getting pushed back to late November or even into mid-December.
And that's what you need to know. I'm Derek Tritz, and this is Civic Media News.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, a few showers and storms around. Lows in the low 40s. Sunshine returns for Friday and Saturday, highs upper 50s. Sunshine and highs in the low 60s Sunday. Even warmer to start the work week next week, highs jump into the 70s. Right now it's 53.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Actress Zoe Saldana takes her craft seriously. How seriously? She told Variety that she wanted to go back and reshoot Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame because she says now she totally understands her character, Gamora's arc, better. She says she knows it can't happen, but she wishes she could because now she has a better grasp on what directors the Russo brothers had in mind. Ouch. I love Zoe Saldana, but maybe you do a little more homework next time before you hit the screen for 2 multi-million-dollar films. Saldana played the same role in the Guardians of the Galaxy films as well. Netflix has announced there will be a season 2 of the A24 show Beef. The Hollywood Reporter says season 2 will focus on a young couple who witnesses a fight between their boss and his wife, and will star the outstanding Carey Mulligan and Oscar Isaacson. Season 1, starring Stephen Yeun and Ali Wong, took home 8 Emmys. Isaacson and Mulligan worked together previously in the Coen brothers film Inside Llewyn Davis. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Christina Reynolds of Emily's List. Donald Trump had a quasi-town hall.
There were 2 questions, one on abortion and one on IVF. What he did was claim he just wanted the states to get to decide, and it is a lie. When they call it a national minimum standard, they are saying, we want the federal government to get to decide and not you.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, Dan Schaefer will be here from the recombobulation area. We lighten it up with Milwaukee Record Monthly and this show.
Got a great one tomorrow night, folks. This is going to it's our last Freaky Friday before Halloween. So from Wisconsinology, Frank Anderson will be here. He's going to tell us the story of Kate Blood. Very scary story and some other scary stuff too tomorrow night. And then your favorite goth consonite will be here. I'm just going to leave it at that. She is a goth consonite. She is going to be here in studio. Very excited to have her as a guest, because that's going to be two scary segments there. Conrad, are you going to miss Freaky Friday?
No,
because you get too scared.
No, I'm going to miss it.
I'm just going to say her name. It's Taylor Nicole. She'll be here.
I'm going to miss it because of Todd's intros.
Yes, true. Well, I have to find something else for him to do. Todd does great intros. And then, obviously, of course, it's a bar band Friday night. Terry Barr will be here with new music and sparkling conversations. So please join us. Right now, we continue with Halloween and pumpkin talk. It's Jack-o'-lantern days in Fish Creek, and joining us now to tell us about this really fun festival taking place this weekend is Jessica Murphy. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing very well. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I told you the other day on the phone I'm half Murphy.
Yes, you did. So we're probably related.
We could be.
Although I've heard if you ever go to Ireland and say you're Murphy looking for your ancestors, they'll laugh at you. So.
Right, probably. There's a lot of I'm actually a Dropkick Murphy. So.
Oh, me too. Me too.
So
Fresh out of Boston.
We're definitely related then. So how are things in Fish Creek tonight? You guys are kind of in the throes of this. This is the first night, right, for Jack-o'-lantern days?
It is. Tonight we are doing a pumpkin carving contest at one of our favorite taverns, Bayside Tavern. They're hosting that. Started at 7 o'clock, and then we'll be judging, the best pumpkins tonight at 10 p.m. And then, that kind of kicks off a whole weekend that we have planned for ages from the little ones all the way up to adults.
Wow, that's fun. Do the adults get into the pumpkin carving aspect of it too?
I think tonight is kind of leaning more towards the adults since it's the later hours.
Yeah.
And, some craft cocktails, I believe, are probably going around right now. But yeah.
I hope it's adults.
I hope so too.
Those kids must have some pretty impressive fake IDs there in Fish Creek.
Yeah.
So, all right, tell us more about it. So what you got tomorrow, you got Saturday, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. It sounds like it's just going to be a really fun weekend in Fish Creek. You've got stuff playing all day, mask making extravaganza, open house at Gibraltar Fire Station, bird sanctuary, trick-or-treating, magic show. Lay it on us. What is, if we go see Jack-o'-lantern days, let's say Conrad and I get on the motor scooter and we road trip up there, what should we definitely check out?
Well, I think you should stop tomorrow night. We are going to be having a band out of Sister Bay. They're a fun band, play everything from 90s to the hits. That's going to be at Old Town Hall at Fish Creek. That's from 5 to 7. We're going to be cranking up the music and having a good time. And then as soon as you feel like waking up with the sun, we are going to have a glass pumpkin hunt with one of our very own business members, Burnt Bluff. So that's going to be fun. You kind of get to go out through the field and look for their blown glass pumpkins.
Nice.
And then yes, it's a family fun packed day. You can go to the Peninsula School of Art and make your own masks. Gibraltar Fire Department always has their open house this weekend, so they have like bouncy houses and games and hoses that you can spray and treats and lunch. And then head on down to Founders Square, where a majority of our shopping stores are, and we'll have some live demonstrations with these big, beautiful birds that you never really get to see one-on-one, like vultures. And it's really kind of one of our popular staples for this event. And then join us for a costume contest, and we do a little march around Fish Creek and trick-or-treating. And like you mentioned, we have a magic show back at Old Town Hall on Saturday. And then the YMCA is doing something fun with their trunk or treat. They're going to have a bunch of YMCA employees decorating their trunks of their car and handing out candy. So, and then we get a little spooky at 6 o'clock with our haunted trail, and we got a ton of surprises and a ton of frights. We have starting at 6 o'clock when it's lighter, we would recommend for the little kiddos, but that goes until 8 p.m. And then we're going to keep the party going with a costume contest and party at Bayside Tavern, followed by some live music by Fish Creek locals Catch Up. So we are stacked this weekend.
I would say so. Do you just collapse on Sunday night then? Is that how that happens?
Yeah, I'm already tired.
My guest is Jessica Murphy. She is the event coordinator for Visit Fish Creek, and they have Jack-o'-lantern days going on this weekend. Check it out. When you say, a lot of our talk this month on the show, Jessica, has been about really scary stuff. We talked to one of the conductors, Carl Sorecki of the Door County ghost trolley tours.
Ghost tours? Yeah.
Yeah. How scary does it get for you if people come to see Jack-o'-lantern days? It looks very family friendly, but is there stuff for adults? Like, will adults really get scared?
If you do the later hours of the trail, like with the darker hours, we are going to turn up the fright a little bit. We do ghost tours at Noble House. It's our museum located right on the corner in Fish Creek at the main corner. And Lori there does great ghost tours, and she has pictures and stories of people being seen in windows and people that have even been on these ghost tours that have done them before and their own accounts. So it does get pretty creepy up there.
Door County, for whatever reason, just lends itself to creepy. I mean, it's so strange because it's such a beautiful area. It's a big vacation hotspot. I go there several times a year. I just love it. But there is something about it that lends itself to the eerie, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. I do. We have a rich history of locals, and especially in Fish Creek. Fish Creek being one of the first tourist towns in Door County. There's a lot of people that have come in and out of our ports and have a lot of stories, and some not so great characters that
really
have left an imp. Yeah, there's just some creepy stories up here that, yeah.
You mean they come over on the boats and then leave and they have a story?
Well, I'm just saying, like in the older days, like on the haunted ghost tours. That I've heard some. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Door County ghost story of your own personally, or just one you like, not necessarily something that haunted you personally, but like a story?
There's a story that there was this guy that came up to. I think I don't know where he was from, but he came up to a farm up here in Sturgeon Bay, and he murdered somebody on the farm. And when the authorities got a hold of the news that this guy murdered somebody, they heard that he went up the peninsula. So I don't remember the exact amount of days, but there was a lengthy amount of days that they had all 3 bridges up, and they kept this guy up in the peninsula. Wow. And they finally found him hiding in a cabin out by one of the restaurants. So
Whoa.
I just thought, like, how they had the bridge up for days to keep this guy up in the peninsula just sends chills through my bones.
When was that?
I want to say 90s, late 90s.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and that's part of the ghost tour if you go on the trolley, I do believe.
Okay. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like a lot of fun. Do you have do you like scary movies? Do you watch scary movies?
I do.
Do you have a favorite or one you could recommend?
I just watched American Psycho today.
You know, I've never seen that film, the Christian Bale film.
Yeah, it's creepy. I mean, in a psychological way. I just watched it again, and I was like, oh, God, that's probably why I haven't picked it up in a while.
That's great. How did you end up in Fish Creek or Door County, let's say?
I lived actually in Green Bay for the last 15 years, and I would spend day trips or little mini weekends coming up here and just driving the coast. And literally, I feel like everybody that comes up here and says, someday this will be my home, someday. And then when 2020 happened, I kind of feel like everybody was forced to reflect on their life and kind of see what they wanted to do. And I just took the jump, and I've been up here ever since.
Boy, you could do a lot worse than Door County, I'll tell you. It's so beautiful there.
I know.
That's
you ain't
great.
kidding there.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite season?
I love this season right now.
Yeah.
I think we have such a beautiful county with all of our 4 state parks, the windy road that leads up to Washington Island. Even just the drive up to Fish Creek it's beautiful. It's stunning with the vast amount of colors, the oranges, the reds, the yellows. And then when you get an apple cider donut on your way, up the coast at Wood Orchard, and it's fresh and it's warm and it's a little chilly, and right now is my favorite time.
So great. I could not agree more. I have one more question for you. All right. So you work for Visit Door County or Visit Fish Creek. What's after this? You got the holidays right after this, Christmas. What are you guys offering in the way for visitors around the holidays?
Well, we are kind of hanging our hat on the fact that a lot of people that visit our town during the season always call it like a Hallmark town.
Yeah.
So we are having our hometown holidays coming up on December 7th. We're going to have photos with Santa in Old Town Hall. We're going to have the middle school selling some baked goods, some cookies and stuff with Santa. And then we're doing our tree lighting ceremony with the Noble House, and having some Christmas carols, and really just moving us into the Christmas season.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. You'll have to come back as we get closer to that and tell us all about it. That sounds like so much fun. I wish you a lot of luck this weekend. You got your plate full, but it sounds like just an absolute blast. So best of luck with Jack-o'-lantern days.
Yeah, and come up on your scooters. It might be chilly, but you said scooters. So.
I'll see what I can do. I don't need much of an excuse to get over to Fish Creek. I live actually right across the bay on the northern side of the bay. Up near Marinette. So, so we get over we were in Egg Harbor for like a week in August, and we've been to Peninsula Players several times. It's just such a beautiful place. So I may take you up on that. So thank you very much.
Yes, thanks for having me, and thanks for visiting our county. We always love to have you.
All right. Thanks so much, Jessica. Have a great night, and good luck this weekend. That's Jessica Murphy from Visit Door County. She's the event coordinator, and they have a big event this weekend. It's in action right now. They have pumpkin carving tonight if you're in the area and want to get over there. It ends at 10 o'clock. And then all day on Saturday, just check out just what I did was Googled Jack-o'-lantern days in Door County, and it comes up, and they have the whole schedule. on Saturday. There's just a ton of stuff going on. And then Friday night as well. And they've got live music tomorrow night too. So sounds like an absolute blast. And I recommend checking it out. I've been staring at these snacks, Conrad, and it's driving me crazy. With this eating program I'm doing, I can't eat this until
Snickers.
Saturday afternoon. I know. And I know this is going to be a letdown now because I'm going to eat this. Look at the packaging.
It's small.
It's small, but, it looks delicious because it's got the Snickers brand of approval on it.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love Snickers? So I'm going to eat this, but I guarantee I'm going to be let down because my hopes are going to be so high by the time I actually dig into this. And then this sweet corn, the Mexican sweet corn. But we've got a lot of fun. Tomorrow night's going to be great. We've got, I'm so excited that Taylor Nicole is coming into the studio.
Yeah.
Goth Consonite. That's a great name. All right. We will be back in just a couple of minutes to wrap up this really fun show. And if you want to send us a text before the end of the show, please do so at 855-752. 855-75-Civic. Let us know who your least favorite TV talk show host is. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. We're coming right back.
He's the greatest dancer. That I've ever seen. He's the greatest dancer.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
All Wisconsinites want our lawmakers to fight for a better future. But some elected officials are working to strip away our rights, like the right to make our own healthcare decisions or send our kids to well-funded schools. Wisconsin voters will be asked to change the state constitution on their November ballot. This anti-voter constitutional amendment could disenfranchise or create barriers for eligible voters. We're not going back. The League of Women Voters of Wisconsin is urging voters to vote no on the November 5th constitutional amendment.
When it comes to accurate, reliable election information for Wisconsin voters, visit the official site. It's myvote.wi.gov. It's the big cheese, you could say. It's your one-stop source for official Wisconsin election information. Find your polling place, see your sample ballot, make sure your registration is up to date, and more at myvote.wi.gov. Sponsored by Wisconsin Elections Commission, aired by Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute, and today I'm going to ask you a few questions before I get where I'm going. How would it feel if you woke up every day and you knew your bills were going to be paid on time? What would it be like if you were saving money and you knew that money was automatically going to the right savings accounts? Or that you knew how much money you had left over every month to spend on the things you like to spend on? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, there is a free tool that you and anyone can use to help those things happen over time. It is called a budget. I know, your budget doesn't help you make more money, but it 100% does help you make more of your money. There are a ton of resources online to help you, including my videos at Work Money Media on YouTube. The first few sessions are the hardest when you get going, but I promise it gets easier when you stick with it. For more everyday money help, check
From the 608 says, "Hi, Pete and Conrad. My least favorite talk show host was Kathy Lee Gifford." You know, I was wondering, honestly, if we were going to hear Kathy Lee Gifford's name tonight because, do you know her, Conrad? Do you remember her?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
She was Regis's co-host, Regis and Kathy Lee. And I will say she could be a little over the top, a little almost too wholesome, like, come on, relax, you know. But she was on Seinfeld with Regis when Kramer was selling his coffee table book, and he went on there and he drank hot coffee and did a spit take and spit it all over Regis and Kathy Lee. And she jumped up and she said, "You just spit all over my Kathy Lee casuals." and that was her line of active wear or clothing or whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny. She seemed like she had a sense of humor about herself, at least. But I wasn't a huge. She's a little over the top, so I don't totally disagree with you, Anna. Carla from Baraboo. Aunt Carla says, "Hi, Pete and Conrad. Grandma is listening tonight late." Late?
Yeah. This is past her bedtime.
But she's listened before. This is not her normal... either way, it's good to have Grandma Krieger, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to have... Hi, Grandma. How are you, Grandma Krieger? It's great to have you with us. But get to bed. You need your rest. Tomorrow's a big day, right?
Sure.
What does your grandma usually do on Fridays? I don't know. But it's good to have. It's always more fun. It's more fun when all the Kriegers are listening, in my opinion. So we've got, like I mentioned before, I'm very excited to have Taylor Nicole on at GothCon tonight in studio. She's got scary stories, and Conrad will probably be freaked out. He does not like scary stories, and she definitely dresses the part. She's got kind of a cool, she's a, you know what they call it, Conrad? They call it an influencer.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, she's on TikTok and Instagram.
Yep.
And she's pretty popular, so that's exciting. So what was I going to... I was talking about the Lincoln Lawyer, and then I wanted to get to this one other thing before we got off the air, and now I cannot seem to locate what I was looking for. So bear with me, folks, here. Conrad, say something.
Hello. Hello.
Here's one of the facts I didn't get to last night. This is so funny. Steak and Shake. You ever eat at a Steak and Shake?
I don't think I have.
They're pretty good. It's just fast food, but they have good, burgers and shakes. So there you go, Steak and Shake. It said Steak and Shake and Maxim Magazine are both owned by the same company from San Antonio called Big Lowry Holdings. That doesn't seem like a really thrilling nugget of information, but it is kind of a weird thing. Like two products that are very different.
I feel like there's a lot of things like that you don't know are owned by the same company.
And, they're just buying companies that make money. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, well, wait a minute. This isn't burger related. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But we got through National Kangaroo Awareness Day. Okay. I think in tomorrow night's opening, we'll talk a little bit about the best spinoff because you know what today was? What dropped?
What was it?
Man with a Plan.
Oh.
Your guy, Joey.
I've seen that show 2 times.
It's not good, is it?
No, I actually like it.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
It didn't last long, did it?
4 seasons. So it had a run.
It did?
In 4 seasons. It ended on a very big cliffhanger. Or not actually. I don't know.
It never came back?
It just never came back, yeah. I guess
really
it didn't
annoying.
end really on a cliffhanger. It just ended on something that you're like, really? That's the last episode. All right.
So you watched it?
I watched it twice through.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
know what happened. I must have taken a knee on my TV watching for that 4 years. I don't even barely remember that show.
I watch anything that Matt LeBlanc is in because I think he's hilarious.
So on that show, was he Joey-ish or was he totally different?
He was the dad of Joey, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, that's funny.
It was a good show. I liked it.
So maybe it got me thinking, maybe we'll do spinoffs. I don't know. Have we done that question?
Well,
did you? Spinoff?
I watched the spinoff of Young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage.
How is it?
I mean, it's a show.
It's the same formula. It's probably not bad. I mean, I would imagine it's the same writers and producers. It can't be.
It's okay.
Don't hold back. I love Dark Conrad about to surface. Go for it.
It sucks. No, it's not terrible, but it's not something I think I'll continue to watch.
Okay.
Well, I should give it one more try because it was the pilot that
one
I watched.
Episode. Yeah, you can't judge a show on the pilot.
But I did watch the latest episode of Shrinking that just came out yesterday. Yeah. Loved it. Had crazy moment at the end that you're like, I can't wait till next week.
Oh, wow.
It's such a good show.
Suspenseful show?
Yeah. They will be. You'll be like, well, I wonder what's going to happen next week, and then you have to wait for it.
You're like ahead of me on TV watching somehow. You're ahead on Bad Monkey and Shrinking now. So all the Apple shows. So is Apple the only streaming platform you have? Is that why you're?
I think they make the best TV shows.
Yeah, they do. They do nice work over there at the Apple. Who's playing tonight? It's the Rams, right?
Rams and Vikings.
Oh, that's going to be a stinkeroo. Is there a score yet?
Let me get that.
Go to the Google. Go to the ESPN. I don't.
It is 14-7 in the second.
Okay, so it's a game. It's always sad. Like
Vikings, by the way, on top.
I was saying I finished Lincoln Lawyer, and now I'm like sad. I don't have.
Go to Shrinking.
Yeah, I'll find a new show, but it's not fun when you. It's so impulsive to watch 10 episodes of TV in 3 nights, and then it's like, oh, now I'm back to square one. What am I going to do?
Well, now you have Bad Monkey and Shrinking. You need a binge. So
all right, Conrad approved. You got it. Thank you so much to everybody for listening to the show tonight. Thank you for your texts. They're always so much fun to read, and I love when you guys participate. Thank you to Nikki Zerjev making the popcorn pick of the week. And her popcorn pick of the week was Beautiful Girls from the 90s. Great movie. Check it out. Give it a rewatch. And thank you to Carly Ide. Check out her place in Appleton, her tattoo parlor. Google her name and watch her on Outrageous Pumpkins this Sunday night. And, of course, thank you to Jessica Murphy, events coordinator for Fish Creek. All right, thanks so much, everybody. We will be back to do this all again tomorrow night. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba. Good night, Wisconsin.
Oh, take me to your best friend's house, Mama.